I don't really know what I'm going to title this video. I think it's going to be something along the lines of like I was meant to be alone, or like I should be alone, or something like that. But like basically, let me get into this. So my whole life, I never had a proper hoe phase, right? And this is something that extremely saddened me because I was an overweight kid. And nobody loved girls as much as me when I was a young guy. Like, and I'm talking about young. I'm not even talking about that weird puberty age. I'm talking about like literally since first grade. I've always like, I just always had crushes on girls. I always thought they were beautiful. Like, bro, I'd be in first grade, think about my wife, think about my wedding, all that. Like, in my head, I was Prince Charming, right? In my head, I was Prince Charming, and I was supposed to find my Rapunzel. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to find my Rapunzel. I'm supposed to find my Snow White. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, like, did I find her? No. Did I find variations of her? Kind of. Maybe? Question mark. Do I spin the block later? Question mark. I don't know. But, at the end of the day, I've met a few different people in my life, and that's cool. And like, we're not going to speak about currently. We're just going to speak about my life in general, just to make things fun. And you also don't know that much about my life, so I'm just going to keep going, right? Basically, I just had this perfect idea of what life was going to be like. I was going to have this mansion. I was going to live in a house with like Jaden Smith and Justin Bieber, and like we were going to like, be like doing like these loose dances in Calabasas in the backyard with a bunch of like, you know what I mean? Like a bunch of people. We're cool, we're hip, like we're loose, bro. Maybe a few substances are, in the realm of the area, and like we're, dancing and popping around. I was going to LA parties, da da da. This is in my head, by the way. Anyways, I'm going to parties, I'm running around, I'm drinking, I'm smoking, but I'm like chill about it, and I'm like low-key healthy, I'm shredded, I have abs. I did that part. I did half of the work, but I digress. Basically, I was able to fund this crazy lifestyle for myself and put everybody that I know and love on. Did that happen out of high school? No, I got traumatized because a girl made up a lie about me, one of the worst lies you can make up about a guy. That's all I'm going to say about that. And then everybody was like, he's a nice guy, but ruined my fucking life temporarily. A bitch always can come back. Never mind. Irregardless. I'm going to keep going. Basically, I was out of shape at that time. Like, I didn't really have a good grasp on what I wanted to do, and I didn't go straight into college. And my friends went into college, and my friends were academics. And I wasn't an academic because I never applied myself in school, because in my head, I already had my future already planned out, which was you're going to be a YouTuber, you're going to be collabing with all your favorite YouTubers, you're going to be making online money, you're going to be able to complete and override anything that's stopping you in your path. You're going to become one of the greatest, and then boom, that's it. Like, you can keep going off of that. If you want to buy more properties and grow more businesses or get more viral or whatever, that's just gonna happen. That shit did not happen. I didn't actually apply myself or start posting anything until I reached the age of 21. So do the math. That's 3 years had to go past after high school for me to be like, hey, I want to start uploading. I want to start posting. And when I did start posting, I also realized, hey, like, not only is this a little bit harder than what I thought, but like the numbers aren't really rolling in like I expected. And that's when my reality check came in. And this is kind of where I'm going to get more into the meat and potatoes. Hopefully you're still here listening to me. If you're still here listening to me, thank you so much. I'm going to keep going. But like, once I started uploading, you got to understand my position in life. Like, I was starting to see the real world for what it was. I was working at a warehouse 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and I was making 17 hours or $17 an hour, and that was like life. And like I worked with people in the warehouse where that was just life, and like don't expect any better or any less. Like, you go into work, you do that. By the time you're out of work, you're probably going to be tired. Whatever else you do is on your time. And I would watch people age. I stayed there for almost 3 years. I watched people age. I watched people go through these like habits and like all these, little things. You learn what people eat, their favorite cheat foods. You learn like the way they talk, their life issues. Some dude will be arguing with his baby mom in the bathroom. There's another guy who's going through, his wife's got some disease, and the one guy who wants to be everybody's boss but he isn't. I had to deal with that on a consistent basis while I was having friends who were cracking every single weekend. Let that process, let that click. Not every single weekend. I'm talking about like literally on rotation. I had friends that were getting the most play I had ever experienced in my life. Not me, but them. But like hearing it and hearing their body counts, I was like, whoa. Not only that, I dated a girl who came back from college, stayed a summer. That was the first girl I ever like developed real feelings for. And then I had to process, yo, you're gonna go back to school and get cracked. And that was also another thing where I was like, oh my gosh, I was not ready for the world. So all of this to say, I was kind of experiencing something that was so weird and rare for my age. And I think that there were other people that I graduated high school that, experienced nearly the same thing. But I also saw like the kids who didn't do anything specific, like they didn't get into trades or they weren't like making like crazy money or anything, still had other things. Like maybe they had a friend group to distract them. I was one of those people temporarily. Maybe they had like, they went out and drank a lot, or they were smoking, or they had like some other hobby that was taking up a lot of their time. Me, it felt like I had days that just kind of sat still. And I went through a wide range of like just depression for like a little bit. Like I would say it fluctuated throughout the years, but like overall, I just had a hard time kind of like processing feelings and like getting over my own humps, feeling like I'm not enough, or feeling like, I'm not going to be able to amount to what everybody else around me is doing. Because this is the way I was perceiving life. My friends who were academically advanced or whatever, not even advanced. I know so many dumb people who went to college and still had that whole experience. But like everybody that went to college, either A, is studying, bored as fuck, but they have free time and they don't have to break their backs every single day at work. Or B, they're having the most fun time of their life. They're cracking every single weekend, every single weekday. They're, developing all these different relationships, whether it's friendships, brotherhood, sisterhood, all that. And I'm just missing out. I would live with my grandparents. I was fighting with my mom. I had all these life issues. Boom. What's the one thing you realize when you're alone like that and you don't really have that much? I realized that those goals that I always told myself I had kind of were just sitting there, and they were sitting there for a reason. It felt almost like my life was kind of pointing at this thing. Like I have this really expensive camera that my dad bought me, and my dad isn't in my life anymore. And my camera would just kind of sit there, and like I wouldn't use it. And I had the equipment, but it just kind of sat there. When things started picking up for me, I was 21. I just get through this like really bad breakup, that girl who came back from college. In my head, I'm like, I need to do something. Like that really lit a fire under my ass because I felt so hurt. I felt so alone and so hurt and so vulnerable. Like my little heart was like, oh my God, I can't handle this. And like, bro, my ex was bad. Like, she was bad, bro. Like, I'm not even trying to like exaggerate or anything, bro, but like, she looked good. She looked good. Anyways, I was like, oh my God, she's going off to college. She's definitely getting cracked. She was getting cracked. But she basically did all that. And I'm like, bro, like, do you just want to like jump off of a bridge and just be that guy that killed? I can't even say that. Oh my gosh. Isn't that like a no-no word on YouTube? Okay, because I don't want to edit this video, and I also don't want to like, we're gonna see how this video like ends up, because I don't want to edit it, but like, if I get like, I don't know, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm sorry, I'm like messing up. Basically, I download Instagram. I'm like, yo, create a fitness page right now. I create a fitness page. Fun fact about me, I used to be 315 pounds. I was 315 pounds. I lost a lot of that weight, lost over 100 pounds. I started uploading reels, and in those reels that I was uploading, I started getting small bits of attention. And I started noticing things kind of picked up because I switched to the gym that I was going to, and then I started bringing the camera in the gym, and then I started talking to people in the gym. I know people find me annoying, but some people found me cool. So like, I found people that were kind of in my community a little bit, or like kind of on par with like what I'm doing. I'm also met a lot of weird people, and like I have a lot of weird situations with people that kind of like go to my gym and like stuff like that. But I'm not even gonna get into that. I don't even think I'm not even gonna get into all that. Basically, my sign from the universe was like, you need to be by yourself if you want to be great. You need to be by yourself if you want to be great, because at the end of the day, if you want to be great, like, all these external things that you're focusing on aren't going to get you where you want to be in life. And what I mean by that is like, a person who is surrounded by all their favorite distractions, especially with ADHD, isn't going to be able to get anything done because of the fact that they have all these distractions. If you were to give like, if you were to give a 9-year-old like a task to do, like you were like, okay, I want you to take all of these clothes and fold them. I just want you to fold these clothes. And the kid knows how to fold, you know what I mean? But you also gave them a Wii, or you gave them like some sort of video game console that's easy for young people, right? Like a Nintendo. And you sit that in there. That 9-year-old is not gonna be like, yo, let me genuinely sit down and like fold all these clothes. The 9-year-old's gonna see pixels and like their brain is gonna go off. You know what I mean? Except I'm that kid. And I'm that person where it's like, okay, like, now that I'm 23, and it was like this once I had the realization at 21. Now I'm 21, now I'm 22, now I'm 23. It's like, how many excuses do you want to keep giving yourself until you realize like you just need to be by yourself? My biggest distractions were hanging out with a bunch of friends that genuinely were not doing anything for me. And when I say genuinely not doing anything for me, I mean like, the fakest people could sit around you and like listen to you and have you around them, but they only want you around for a certain point of time, like a certain amount of time. And I would notice that this friend group that I had when I was around like 20, 21, like, we would go out and do a bunch of different things, but like, it wasn't like they were reaching out to me to do anything. It was more so like, hey, did you check the group chat? Or like, hey, did you like, you know, did you tap in? Da 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 da. Like, there will be so many times I don't even know that they're hanging out, or I don't know what the plans are or anything, and I'm asking and nobody really cares. Yeah, basically, I was just a side character, and that was my role, and they expected me to play it. And if I didn't, like, shit was gonna get called out, and it was really immature and really really dumb. But at the end of the day, like, that's kind of what it was. Like, it was just a really bad situation for myself. And as somebody who was stressed out in life and already didn't really know what they wanted to do, because like doing YouTube and like getting 100,000 followers and like getting super rich online and like, you know, figuring out all these things that you're trying to achieve, but not knowing like the route, the blueprint, the people, like all the even the drive, like you don't have the drive to do it. Like, it's a scary place to be. So I genuinely drown myself out with these people who are like just suffocating me. So when we're going out drinking, like, I'm losing money, I'm losing time, I'm losing like all these different things. And like, I remember once I got interested in the videos, like I had one of the buddies in that group like was genuinely interested, and then one day he like crashed out on me and was like, I'm not you, like I don't know like what you want to do, da 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 da. But basically the crash out was so hard and so offensive, and I think that a part of it had to do with like micro taking. I'm not sure if like that's like a sensitive word on YouTube, but like micro taking certain substances may have triggered some deep emotions within this individual. But essentially, he had a very wild panic attack in the car while we were driving, and he was just like, basically, I don't want anything to do with this, this is not me, like I can't da 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 da. Mind you, I think he already had a lot of other life things going on. I don't really want to get into that. That's a whole different thing. He already was kind of like, you know, boom, boom, boom. Now, anyways, I felt extremely alone in those moments because every single time I was excited, I'm like, guys, I just uploaded a new video, I just did this, blah, 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 blah. They would be like, oh, cool, da, 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 da. Now you just got to do it more. And like, you know, a little like, oh, like, that's cool. But like, that was it. And then it would be going back to talking about drinking or, you know, hanging out with whoever or whatever girl they're trying to kick up with. Because it's like they don't have that much motion. None of them have that much motion. They're just kind of like talking to like locals, not college student motion. They did not have college student motion. I'm going to be so real with you. And a part of something that really messes with me is I really do think that they thought they were cooler than they were, but I would be losing if I gave them more attention, you know, in that realm. So I don't really care, but like, but anyways, I digress. I was kind of starting to get to the point where I was fatigued, and again, I just realized that like creativity and like being able to pick up my camera and physically do what I wanted to do and physically be able to like, you know, make videos and like mess up videos and go through like re-editing or like learning how to like collab with people or even like talk to different businesses or whatever and like collab on posts or just all these little details. Like I kind of was all new to it, and I still like haven't gone viral. I went viral one time in high school, and then that account got hacked. And it was literally one video, and I wasn't even talking in it, and it blew up for no reason, and then I never had that kind of luck again. So basically, I have to start from the ground up, and I have to be authentic, and I want to be real, and I want to be like the best that I possibly can. But realistically, all I can say is like, me getting better at social media is me learning myself more. And it's learning that as much as I want to have like this perfect social media and this perfect page and like, and when I say page, I mean all different social medias. I mean TikTok, Instagram, like everything. Eventually Twitter if I can, like YouTube obviously, but I feel like YouTube has always been all over the place for me. I feel like just in general, learning myself is kind of the fundamentals into like, what do I want to talk about? Like right now, this video is 19 minutes long right now. And basically, I'm able to talk this long because I'm being myself and I'm being authentic. And I feel fully comfortable uploading this video and being like, yeah, that was me. Like I said what I said. Mind you, I gotta think a little bit more before I speak, because I said a few things in this video where I'm like, I really hope said person does not watch this, because I will get clocked. Anyways, that's why you keep uploading as many videos as you possibly can. That way your words can get a little bit diluted. But irregardless, I am so tired of sitting stagnant, sitting still, and like I have been, and I've had so many different waves where I'm like, I'm so fed up that it like pushes me to do more and more. And it's like, I have these depressive episodes where I stop everything cold turkey, and I learned when to combat it and when it's too strong, and when I need to like kind of like let it go. And like the times that I need to like let go, it's like let go. Like if I need to get off social media, get off social media, like do whatever you got to do. But that's calluses. Like in those moments of me getting off the internet, or like retracting and pulling away and kind of being in that like quote unquote depressive state, but what I would call it more so is just like a step back. It's more so of like, take a breath and do it better. You know what I mean? And I think every single time I've came back and I've done it better, right? There used to be times where I'm like, all right, I need to do this much. I need to upload this many videos per day. And I would just kind of upload like BS, or like the most lazy format, because in my head, I'm like, you just got to do a video that's going to like work, or like the algorithm's going to catch something. But it's like, hey, are your videos good? Like, do your videos actually entertain anyone? Is it better to be more entertaining once a week, or like not entertaining at all 7 days a week? And that's kind of where I'm like, listen, if you want to be great, it's not what time you post. It's not about like, you know, how you dress in the video. Like, it's everything. It's everything, right? You don't want to just only be the guy who's always upload. You can upload every single day, but if your videos are garbage, your videos are garbage. You can upload once a week, but if your videos are garbage, your videos are garbage. And you probably, if your videos aren't that good, you probably do need to upload more. I'm saying that as somebody who's had to say that to myself. Like, I need to upload more. So it's like, if I want the bag, if I want to be able to like get to where I want to be in life, like I just have to apply myself in that arena. Having a bunch of friends and like this social life and like all these things that I really wanted growing up, and like I guess these external validating like things, they always stopped me. They always slowed me down. They always like made me kind of like dull and like boring and like doom scrolly, and it's toxic and I don't like it. But at the end of the day, you got to put up with whatever you put up with, and like just do it better. But anyways, I think that's gonna be my first talking video, but I want to do a lot more of these talking videos. So if you like it, please subscribe, please give me a like let me know this got through to you, if you made it to the end. If it didn't, then well, you never saw this. Thank you. Bye. I love you.